Well. We meet again. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the most concerning thing happening in America today. Editing Jack here. I make a joke where I list some bad things that are happening in America, like actually bad things, and I compare what I'm about to bring up to these things. So I decided to cut it out to avoid incriminating myself in the future. But yeah, what I'm about to bring up is still bad, but it's not this bad, so I cut this out. Anyway, enjoy. And it's happening right under our noses, okay? Because there's a modern case of Brown v. Board of Education versus Plessy v. Ferguson. And I am here to show you what it is and educate you. So if you're not aware, back in slave times, right, when people would have slaves, and also when people post-slaves, would still treat black people worse, Plessy v. Ferguson established a little rule called separate but equal, where you could have two kind of sinks, or sinks, because I'm the sink guy. Like bathrooms for both, for different groups. So for example, you'd have the white bathroom and you'd have the black bathroom. And this was very problematic because they would have the black bathroom be incredibly just terrible, and then the white bathroom was just all fancy and stuff. And that's not very equal. So, and the same thing was happening to multiple other things, the education system, for example. There would be black schools and there'd be white schools. And this was incredibly bad because they were not equal. They were separate, and they were not equal because they were separate. So then Brown v. Board of Education came along, and this guy was like, hey, actually, this is not equal because my kid is not getting a fair education because he's black. So they were like, oh yeah, I guess, separate isn't equal. So that's what Brown v. Board of Education it does. Brown v. Board of Education says, yeah, Plessy v. Ferguson is bad. And now that you can't have separate but equal because it's not equal inherently. So now that we have that established, I'm here to talk about what is the current version of Plessy v. Ferguson that's happening today that is separate and that is not equal, okay? If you've seen all of my videos, you'll have seen all my sync reviews, which I love. Shout out sync reviews. But there's one sync review 6. If you haven't seen that one, close this video, watch sync review 6, and come back to this video. And because it's very important that you've seen that video. Because in that video, I take you through the men's bathroom. And, it's very small, it's tiny. And then after that, we kind of show you what the women's bathroom looks like. We don't go in it, but I can assume that it's a lot bigger, a lot nicer than the men's bathroom, which is what is happening with Plessy v. Ferguson. You see, men's and women's separate, but equal, This is unfair. This is separate and unequal, guys. I mean, sync review 6 is just it's laid out on a golden platter for me. It's it's like when you go and you find a piece of gum on the sidewalk. It's just there. It's easy to pick up and just start chewing. Shout out Elf. But yeah, this Plessy v. Ferguson example is it's flying right under our radars, and I'm here to show you why that's wrong, what potential solutions it would look like, and how we can move about this in the future. So, why this is wrong, okay? So, us men, we are probably more low maintenance than women in a lot of ways. We don't have to have periods, which if you haven't seen my video on periods, watch that one. And that we appreciate that. And I'm not trying to discount any women, or I'm not trying to make women look bad either. I'm just acknowledging, we don't need a huge bathroom. But if you look at the disparity between the men's and the women's bathrooms, it is just very clear, right? The men's bathroom is just this derelict little shack with an outhouse in it. I'm being hyperbolic, but you can all see what I'm saying. And then the women's is this grandiose kind of giant spectacle of a bathroom of it's like a Citizen Kane mansion bathroom, Xanadu or whatever, however you pronounce that. But yeah, it's you got this tiny little bathroom over here on the men's, and then there's giant bathroom over here with the women's. And this is separate, and it is certainly not equal. So, potential solutions. I am by no means saying that we should combine these bathrooms, because that would be an invasion of privacy, and I don't think either men nor women would like that. So I think we should keep them separate, but we need a way to actually maintain them being equal, because we can't do a Brown v. Board of Education and just combine the schools. That wouldn't work in this case, right? It's different, it's gendered, it's not race. So we need a solution that can marry the two, between being separate and also being equal, because clearly they're not equal. So here's what I propose, okay? I propose that a non-biased person can kind of, maintain these bathrooms in a way that's I don't know, we need a way to regulate this, right? The women can't keep getting away with this, right? I'm talking to you women, and I'm talking to you men. Stay alert, okay? So we need a way to regulate this. I volunteer the aliens that are fishing us. Okay, I'm just gonna pop in here because where I was taking that video is not where I wanted to go with the video, okay? Because the truth is, I don't really know what the solution for this problem is, right? I was gonna suggest aliens, right? Because they're unbiased, but they wouldn't really care. I was gonna suggest they, them people, because they're kind of unbiased, but they still have to use, there's still one bathroom they have to use, depending on their sex. So I don't really know what the solution is here, but it's clearly an important issue, and I really want you guys to see that. We need to figure out something. So if you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments, because I am happy to make a part 2 if one of you guys has a great idea. Otherwise, I'm just gonna end the video here. I know it's kind of a sad place to end the video, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. I have another video coming out tomorrow about kind of a Plessy v. Ferguson situation. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Love you all.